Have we ever had a nuclear war and how we survived? Ever since the crisis between Russia and Ukraine, there has been growing nuclear tension all over the world, and all efforts are being directed to avert it. However, what do you think will happen when a nuclear war breaks out? Welcome to another exciting episode. Have we ever had an all-out nuclear war before? Let's take a look back in time. But before we take you through the video, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us. To date, the only use of nuclear weapons in armed conflict occurred in 1945 with the American atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On August 6, 1945, a uranium gun-type device with codename Little Boy was detonated over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. 3 days later, on August 9, a plutonium implosion-type device with codename Fat Man was detonated over the Japanese city of Nagasaki. Together, these two bombings resulted in the deaths of approximately 200,000 people and contributed to the surrender of Japan, which occurred without any further use of nuclear weapons in the conflict. After World War II, nuclear weapons were also developed by the Soviet Union. Around 1949, the United Kingdom in 1952, France in 1960, and the People's Republic of China in 1964, which contributed to the state of conflict and extreme tension that became known as the Cold War. In 1974, India, and in 1998, Pakistan, two countries that were openly hostile toward each other, developed nuclear weapons. Israel in the 1960s and North Korea in 2006 are also thought to have developed stocks of nuclear weapons, though it is not known how many. The Israeli government has never admitted nor denied having nuclear weapons, although it is known to have constructed the reactor and reprocessing plant necessary for building nuclear weapons. South Africa also manufactured several complete nuclear weapons in the 1980s, but subsequently became the first country to voluntarily destroy their domestically made weapon stocks and abandon further production in the 1990s. Nuclear weapons have been detonated on over 2,000 occasions for testing purposes and demonstrations. A full-scale nuclear war between the US and Russia, the worst scenario modeled, could result in more than 5 billion people dying of hunger after 2 years. Even a relatively small-scale conflict between India and Pakistan could lead to worldwide famine. In a nuclear war, bombs targeted at cities and industrial areas would start firestorms, injecting large amounts of soot into the upper atmosphere, which would spread globally and rapidly cool the planet. Also, this would disrupt the Earth's climate, impacting food production systems on land and in the oceans. Researchers analyzed what would happen in 6 possible nuclear conflict scenarios, each of which would result in different amounts of soot in the atmosphere, and could see temperatures fall between 1 and 16 degrees Celsius. Even a relatively small-scale battle between India and Pakistan could result in crop yields declining by around 7% within 5 years of the conflict. Both countries possess nuclear arsenals of comparable size, and of the world's 9 nuclear armed countries, the two are also among the handful that have been increasing their nuclear warhead stockpiles, according to the Federation of American Scientists, FAS. Meanwhile, a full-scale nuclear war between the US and Russia, which are jointly estimated to account for 90% of the world's nuclear stockpile, could see production fall by around 90% in the 3 to 4 years after the fighting. Researchers considered mitigating factors like using crops fed to livestock as human food, or reducing household food waste, but concluded that these sorts of interventions would not stop large parts of the world from experiencing famine, especially after larger-scale conflicts. Alan Robach, the study's co-author and a professor of climate science in the Department of Environmental Sciences at Rutgers University, said, "If nuclear weapons exist, they can be used, and the world has come close to nuclear war several times. Banning nuclear weapons is the only long-term solution." The 5-year-old UN Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons has been ratified by 66 nations, but none of the 9 nuclear states. Our work makes clear that it is time for those 9 states to listen to science and the rest of the world and sign this treaty. With that, we come to the end of today's video. Do you think these countries will ever let go of their nuclear weapons? What is the safest way to avert the destruction? Let us know in the comments. Like and share the video with friends, and don't forget to ring the notifications bell after you subscribe. We hope to see you in the next video.